We'll see if I can maybe do something. Maybe I should just allow someone else to get on this. That might actually make more sense. Maybe I should just try and fire into the huge ball of enemy units. That might make more sense. Oh! What? That was... What? That was insane. Hello and welcome back to our Duelist adventure, and we have a bit of a situation, as is now the case, and a pretty, shall we say, common occurrence. We are being attacked by the Southern Empire. Of course. I mean, obviously I declared war against them. It is to be expected that, of course, they are going to attack us. Now, I won't show you what's on the left side of the screen just yet, because that kind of... that might kind of give a little bit of foreboding, but let's just say that there's a relatively strong opponent attempting to take Kasira. And obviously, I've been running back and forth between the castle and here. And, well, problematic situations arose, and I had to run away for a considerable amount of time, because there is an army led by Gifor, I believe. And he has over 700 units, and I had to run away, and as a result the castle was taken. So the castle that we took in the previous episode is no longer under our control, which I gotta say I am very disappointed by. Of course, I mean, you know, anytime you lose a castle or lose anything, basically, you know, lose a battle or something, that's pretty disappointing. However, there is still not too much to worry about, because I'm still keeping a positive mindset about this whole thing, because even if that castle gets taken, and even if this fellow, who I believe is Nifon, I believe he is attempting to take Kasira at the moment with his army, and it is quite a bit smaller than Gifor's. So if we can potentially have... My plan, at least, if we can potentially have Nifon's army become a little bit weaker as a result of going in against our garrison, even though the garrison is not exactly amazing, I will be the first to admit that, of course. Even if that is indeed the case, that means that we have a slight advantage. Because, of course, they're going to be going in against a lot of people. We have pretty decent walls, I gotta say. I think our walls are not too bad. I've got to be careful here. Both of these guys are wielding different weapon types. So that's obviously a bit of a problem. Anyway, I'm going to actually just tell my units just to charge straight on in here. I've told my cavalry to charge already. My archers are in a decent enough position. Ow! That really... Are you serious? I'm not going to go down that easily. I'm not going to go down that easily, thank you very much. I'm going to kill as many people as I can get my hands on right now. And that was a huge hit right there. That is actually not very good for me. There's a reason for that, because of course if I want to go into a battle immediately after this particular one, that's not really going to work out too well for us, is it? So... we might have to have a small respite after this. Even though I don't really want to do that, I would much prefer to just go into the fight against Nifon's army almost immediately. But I'm actually still alive. Okay, can you believe it? I can't. Yeah, there we go. Get him. He's got a shield, but that's alright. We are fast enough to get around that. And where did I get shot? I believe... Oh! Wow, that's gotta hurt. That has gotta hurt. Wow, okay, yeah. That is pretty painful. That went right into his neck. I'm surprised he's even standing at this point. What a crazy beast Bruce has turned into, because before, if he got shot in the neck, he'd be dead instantly, but apparently we got shot by a slightly lower tier enemy than we're used to, and as a result, we didn't take fatal damage. If we had taken damage from, like, an Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman or something along those lines, that would have been absolute death instantly for us. Anyway, there you go. Lovely victory for us right there. We do gain a little bit of extra renown, influence, all that stuff. That is all extremely useful for us. I'm also going to be taking her prisoner for a wide variety of different reasons. We're also going to be taking all of the tier 4 units, as many tier 4 units as we can get our hands on, and maybe some tier 3s as well, dependent on if they have any. And it seems like they actually don't even have a huge amount. I'm not going to take the Khuzait because, as I said before, I don't really want to use any other factions units with the exception of Imperials and indeed Azerai units. So that's it. That's basically all I'm going to be taking. We can let the rest of our parties take the remaining prisoners, of course, and then we can move on. So I'm going to show you the map at the moment. Obviously, this is what's happening over here. This guy is 540 strong. There is another vassal over here, which would be quite advantageous for us to attack. Unfortunately, I am at 22% HP. I technically could do this, but I don't really want to leave Kasira all by itself. And you can see here that we have 244 in the garrison. There's 135 militia, 109 from our very own garrison in there. That is all, well, kind of terrible units. So we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to go for your infantrymen suffer 10% less damage from ranged troops in simulations. And we're also going to have it because they usually... Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think I can actually do that. Usually I use shield wall formation. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah. Usually I use shield wall formation, so... Actually, that doesn't even make any difference to simulations or anything like that. That is basically just a straight up battle advantage right there. So it's either I want to improve my archers' morale, because they are usually the ones to use loose, or I want to improve my infantry's morale, and they are the ones that use shield wall. I'm going to go for loose formations, actually, because I personally like the simulation bonus as well, even if I don't even know whether that's working. Oh yeah, someone did suggest in the comments that I speak to some of the mercenaries in the area and try to get them to join our faction. I have attempted to do that. This is one of them, in fact. Unfortunately, his leader is the one that we have to speak to, and I have no idea where he is. If I were to speak to him right now and just basically say, hey, where's this guy? He's at Akalat 3 days ago. I have no idea where Akalat is. I assume it is somewhere extremely far away because that would be the way of things, wouldn't it? I can actually just click on that, but okay, I'll just make it hard on myself apparently. Alright, so where is this? Yeah, it's all the way up there. So he is basically in this area, and that is pretty bad. So I won't be able to go and speak to the leader and potentially get his mercenary band to join us, which is obviously a big problem. Anyway, we hopefully will get a slight opportunity to go in here. I can only hope that our forces are going to put up a decent fight, because if that can happen, then that means that we can hopefully go in when we have almost fully restored ourselves, and hopefully the army will have lost quite a significant amount of combat strength, and then that is going to result in a possible victory for us. Obviously, this gives me also an opportunity to try and upgrade as many units as I possibly can in the meantime. I do have a lot of slave units around here as well that can also level up from their lowest level and hopefully do quite well for us. We have a lot of ballistas as well, which I'm very, very pleased about too, by the way, because ballistas, I have found, are probably some of the best defensive weaponry that you can use. I'm actually surprised that this guy is not yet going into the siege. I'm a little bit perplexed and so on by that, because I actually thought that maybe he would do that. It's a bit strange, because he's actually not even building trebuchets or even onagers, and instead he's building things like ballistas, and ballistas don't really do that much damage to the walls at all. So it's kind of weird, but I guess I'm just gonna stick around here and see what happens. Ah, what an interesting development this is. Alright, so here we have Mr. Gifor here, and apparently he has stopped his previous goal of leading an army, so that's actually very, very interesting indeed. I did not realize that that had happened. Obviously, I can't see their armies on the world map, so I have no idea where they are, but this is good for us. That means I will be able to test my mettle against one of the commanders of the enemy's armies, and if he has a lot of really high-tier units... He seems to have mostly Aserai units, weirdly enough. But yeah, he actually has a number of high-tier units, as you can see right here. He has Imperial Legionaries, he's got some Elite Cataphracts, and so on and so forth. So, generally, if I can win this battle, I will have a much easier time building up to actually attacking that big army, because they're still besieging the thing. They're still just building ballistas and having the ballistas be destroyed. That is literally it. I'm not entirely sure why they're doing that, because it seems to be rather futile. I don't really know why they would decide to do that. I thought they were kind of smart about these kinds of things, but apparently not so much. Not so much around this time, at least, because I thought to myself, why don't they just go in, you know? Because if they just went into the siege, then I might be able to join it. I'm not entirely sure if they have eliminated the penalty for doing that or not, dependent on the stage at which you join the siege, because if I join now, I'm going to lose half of my army, basically, dependent on my tactics skill, and obviously my tactics skill is, well, quite frankly, terrible, so there's also that. That's kind of a drawback, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty bad drawback. Okay, so let's just move these guys into a loose formation. We're going to tell our cavalry and horse archers to charge in, tell our infantry to charge in. This should be a relatively easy fight for us, even though they do have a lot of high-tier units. Kind of wanted to test to see how easy we're able to defeat them with, well, hopefully small amounts of casualties, because obviously, here's the thing. We have a lot of recruits a part of our clan members' armies. That's the main issue that we're having right now, because my own army is alright, you know. We're fine. We're doing okay. You know, we've got a decent amount of high-tier units, and we don't really have to worry about our combat strength specifically, but we do have to worry about our clan members, because they're the ones that are going to give us backup when we need it the most. But unfortunately, because of their very limited combat strength, our numbers are giving me a bit of a false sense of security in that aspect, because if you just look at it objectively, and then you go, oh, so I have 300 units, but half of those are recruits? Well, that's probably not the best. That's why I'm attempting to pick and choose where I actually attempt to attack here, because that's obviously the smart thing to do. If we can eliminate one of these armies, at least this army, this is going to be fantastic, because that will set the enemy back by a pretty considerable margin. And if we can do that, that means that we will have an opportunity to maybe fight even more of their vassals. Maybe we can allow our parties just to run around and do whatever they want to do for a little bit of time, and maybe gain some strength back. That would be quite nice. However, I would also like to try and get a mercenary band to join us as well. But as you can see, they're still here. Cassira still has how many units? I can't see for some reason. The tooltip's not coming up. There it is. All right, 225. And we had 243 when this siege started, I believe. Or we had near to there. And the enemy's army is not really doing that much to us. As you can see, they're literally just building ballistas again and again. And I have no idea why they would do that. It seems like Abgan has now started to be raided. So I guess I'll just head over there and see if I can maybe intercept this guy. I've got to keep an eye on the army over at Cassira, because I don't want it to start the siege and me be super far away from this. But yeah, I've actually attempted to go in here to try and bring our garrison in on the action, because I remember that actually used to be a thing where the AI used to sally out and it would bring any nearby parties into the fray at the same exact time. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I can kind of force the issue a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. So that's a bit problematic. But yeah, not much to be done except wait, I suppose. Alright, so we have a bit of a situation here. We have two options. One option is that we wait again until the enemy's army has become significantly less in number. That's basically what we can do. So we can wait until they're a bit weakened, then we can attack them on the fields of battle, or I can break in to the siege, but as you can see, as many as 68 troops may be lost. Is it worth it for me to be able to get inside? I think it probably is, but let me actually just go to my character screen here, because we do have a small perk level up here. Heroes generate shared experience. That sounds pretty fun. Remove morale penalty for recruiting troops of your faction. Right. Okay. I have no idea what any of these actually do and whether they're any good. I don't actually understand why you would need to remove the morale penalty for recruiting troops of your own faction. I didn't even know there was one, actually. I thought there was a morale penalty for recruiting prisoners, of course, but didn't think that there was anything for that. But I don't really care about that, to be honest. So we're just going to go for party size. For each town you control, and heroes generate shared experience. I feel like generating shared experience should be quite fun. Anyway, we're going to go ahead with this. We lost 51 troops. We lost 8 infantry, 3 range, 5 cavalry, and 1 horse archer. And other parties of your army lost 51 troops total, I believe. So let's help. And let's attack. Here we go. I'm actually kind of... I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This is the first time we have actually gotten in to a proper siege defense, and I am extremely excited about this. So let's see what we can do. We have the advantage at the moment, obviously, because of course we're behind the walls, and the enemy has, well, they do have battering rams. Well, 1 battering ram, and they do have 2 siege towers, and that's going to be kind of problematic. But I do have a ballista, and I am not afraid to use it. Oh yes. Hello there. Okay, that was very powerful. I need to get a bit more used to how this works. Okay, here we go, here we go. Can I shoot? Can't shoot him from there. I might be able to shoot that guy over there, maybe? Ooh, okay, yeah. As is the case with all siege weapons in Bannerlord, there's no crosshair. There's no way for me to zoom in with shift. I have tried to do that. Unfortunately, it does not work. So I will just have to do this the old-fashioned way, where it's just trial and error, basically. And we'll see if I can maybe do something. Maybe I should just allow someone else to get on this. That might actually make more sense. Maybe I should just try and fire into the huge ball of enemy units. That might make more sense. Oh! What? That was... What? That was insane. Alright. Oh, I didn't hit anyone there? Really? Okay, I actually thought that that was a definite hit. But apparently we did not hit anyone. There we go. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh yes, I like it. Oh, the sound, you know, that is actually something that you gotta bear in mind. Sound is an extremely important part of game design, and if the sound of the game is unsatisfying or annoying in some cases, then it's gonna be more likely that people will not want to stick with it. But the ability that when you hit with this weapon to feel very, very satisfied about that sound that plays, you're just kind of like, yes, I would like to hit more with this. Look at that. Oh, and it went through the shield. You know, it just goes straight through the shield by the looks of things. That's how powerful this thing is. Crazy, crazy. Okay, gonna get off this because apparently people are now going to be coming in, or at least I assume they will probably be coming in. It seems like the you know, I'd really like to go out there and actually kill the enemies that are attempting to get through the central doors, but I think that is probably going to be too risky. And it's probably not going to be a good idea, so I'm just going to wait. I could open the gate, as you can see right here. So technically I could, yeah, I mean, obviously you can see there that they're on the other side right now. So technically I can open the gate and then I could close it again. But I don't see the point in that either. So we're just going to see what happens. We have 205 units, and the enemy has 137, but obviously that is going to very, very quickly diminish if we allow them to. So I'm going to have to be a bit careful here. Oh, I kind of feel like my mace might be better here, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to switch to my mace. Oh, yeah, the mace. Oh, the mace. Oh, it's murdering. It's time to pulverize. It's time to pulverize. That's what we like. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now, I really wish that we had some way to repair the doors in the middle of the siege. I think that would be a pretty cool thing, you know, like sending out some engineers or something like that that actually have the ability to repair certain points in your defenses. But obviously that's it's probably not even that's not very it's not very likely that that would happen in the first place anyway, because that's way too risky for the engineers specifically anyway, and these guys are just going to get absolutely murdered. There's no way they are going to get up these siege towers. Not in a million... Oh, they might. Oh, they might. They might actually do that. What? Oh, okay. Apparently I spoke too soon. Ah, too soon, Executus. Yes, apparently that is exactly what has happened here. But it seems like we are able to fight them back. And then we have a bunch of people that I can bonk on the head. I like it. Get down there. Get down there. You're not welcome here. You are welcome to get bonked on the head with my mace, but that is it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's take this guy out. That's an Imperial Cataphract if ever I saw one. Definitely want to take him out as fast as possible. Can we get some people actually dealing damage here? Seems like I'm the one doing most of the damage, which is not particularly good. Gotta say that. Okay, how many enemies do we have left? A lot. I mean, a lot, right? Yeah. I mean, how many have we lost? Yeah, they have about 500, and we have lost 150 or so. Around, actually, no, wait a minute. We've only lost 130, I think, or something like that, but still, that's actually a lot, considering. But I think I should have a pretty easy time of defending here, as long as I stay on the top of the siege tower. I might be able to even destroy the siege tower. Can I crouch and attack? No, I can't crouch and attack. That's actually kind of weird. I feel like you should be able to crouch and attack at the same time, but oh well. Seems like it puts me into a standing position as soon as I swing, which is, well, kind of unfortunate, because I would like to damage the siege tower enough so that it can be destroyed, because they won't ever get in here then, will they? It's just impossible. This ballista has already been used, all the ammunition is gone, so I won't be able to use that. What about the stones? Do I have some stones that I can potentially throw at them or something? Seems like they're all gone as well. I would assume that the stones are not actually even for this particular position. So it's probably, you know, placing some stones near the gate is probably going to be the more likely option to find them. But anyway, let's just continue to deal damage here. I do not want to fall off. That's the main thing that I'm trying to fight the urge to do now, because usually I do tend to be a little bit, shall we say, slippery. My footing always becomes very, very slippery when I'm near to a ledge or something, so you know, something along those lines. So generally, that's not very good. The AI is showing itself to be extremely useful, by the way. I am completely joking, because did you see that guy on the ballista right there? He was on the ballista, and you know what he did? He shot the wall. And I was thinking to myself, oh, okay. I thought I was bad, you know. Thought I was bad, but you know, old Rodney over there, he's just shooting into the wall. He's doing a good job right there. Oh well. Never mind, never mind. Alright, so we've got 316 kills so far. They have 235. So we are, I think, in the realm of possibility to win this. Bear in mind that we did lose about 50 or so units initially just from coming into the siege, but I am extremely happy that we even got into a siege defense, because, let's face it, we've not really had any of these. And these are super fun to participate in. And I'm hopeful that we will be able to continue the good fortunes and hopefully not fall off the edge. Thank you. Get him. Get them all. Get them all. Yes. Nope, no. Yeah, that's what you get. That is what you get. Where's my archers, by the way? Where are my archers? They seem to be non-existent right now. They seem to not really be doing much damage. I mean, I see some people getting kills, but mostly infantry are getting kills at the moment. So I suppose we just have to be happy with that. Seems like some people... Oh, no, there's more reinforcements coming in. They seem to be rushing over to the right side, so I'm going to go over there and try and see if I can lend my assistance, even though I'm not entirely sure if I'm really assisting them that much to begin with, because I am, shall we say, not the greatest at siege defenses. As I've said, I feel like I am extremely close to slipping off this siege tower at any moment. Oh, nice. Look at that. Perfect weapon for these kinds of conditions. Being able to literally attack in any close quarter situation is super useful. There we go. There we are. Now, the only problem, you see, with using a mace is that this is going to cause the army fighting us to have a lot of unconscious enemies, a lot of unconscious units, which is in turn going to make it a lot easier for them to return and indeed fight us again. So that's the reason why I am trying to keep myself at a reasonably high HP level, because if I can keep myself at a high HP level, I should be able to then, if need be, disband my army almost instantly, try to, sell off a bunch of my horses or something like that so that I can pick them up later, or put them into a stash or something along those lines, and then lay in a pursuit course to the remaining enemies in the army and take them out in a field battle. Because if they are able to retreat from this, then that is not going to be very good, as I say. They're going to have a very easy time of coming back and murdering us, because obviously the campaign AI setting is on very high. Oh no, that was really bad. That was really bad. Right. Well, I guess the only thing I can hope for right now is that they do not escape, because if they escape, we're going to have major problems. Because we knocked out how many of them? Like 200 or something like that? Oh, no, there we go. We do actually get an opportunity to take them prisoner. That's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to be taking all of these people prisoner, absolutely every single one. And we'll take all the prisoners too, because we're going to be just placing them in the dungeon. And that is it. Okay, that's fantastic. Great. Whew. Okay, I was actually super worried about that. But thankfully, that does seem to be the case. Look at that. We did it. Oh, yeah. We actually did it. Can you believe it? Oh, yeah. That is nice. I like it. All right, so now we get the opportunity to recruit huge amounts of prisoners that we had before the fight. And then we can just place all of these guys, basically. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm actually not sure what to do right now, because we have a lot of really good units that we would want to convert. So I guess I'll just put the tier 6s and tier 5s and the looters and so on in the hold here. We're probably going to have way too many people anyway, so I'll put Cusine as well. And how many do I have? Oh, I have 167. Okay, that's a little bit too much. All right, so let's just put a whole bunch of these guys in there. We need to start just being a little bit ruthless about what we need to do. So let's just do this, and oh wow. Okay, so just basically everyone then, I guess. Oh, and these two can't be transferred for some reason. I have no idea why these two can't be transferred. That is super weird. Okay, well, whatever the case, let's just place these over there, and then we are basically done. Unfortunately, those other prisoners are just going to have to stay in our army at the moment, even though I would prefer if they weren't, but you know, that's just how it is. Alright, so I'm happy that we were able to defend that. Let's take a look at our bow skill. Oh yeah, because we got ballistas. Ballista fire, didn't we? Reduces accuracy penalty by moving by 30%. Bow-equipped troops in your formation gain 5% damage with bows. Bow-equipped troops in your formation gain plus 20 archery, or increase your headshot damage by 30%. Right. Okay, bow-equipped troops in your formation gain plus 20 archery skill. I think I'm probably going to be taking that. That is, in my opinion, better, because I'm not going to be using a bow, so I just have to be looking at the secondary benefit, and I personally feel like plus 20 archery skill is better than 5% damage, because them being more accurate is going to result in more damage over time than just 5% would provide, at least in my opinion. So there you go, that was fantastic. Now I basically just need to restore myself. Kasira, how's Kasira doing in terms of its garrison? Pretty awful, as you can no doubt tell. How is the town doing? Pretty awful, as you can no doubt tell. Yeah, great. And I guess we're just going to continue recruiting units once again and just continue to put them in the garrison here. I can only hope that the armies of the Southern Empire will not decide to come and attack us while we are restoring ourselves, but we'll have to wait and see for that. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.